I saw the collection options, and Hey Hey is an option in here, so I'm looking for Hey Hey. 1, 2. We have this.
Hey, everybody.
Which looks ever so slightly familiar, but now I'm not positive. If it wasn't the first film, I can't. Let me see if I can get this one to pop. Like, I got it. Pop. Oh, and we have. I was gonna say Moana, but I think this is this Moana? I think this is Moana's sister. Just so that we're all here, I think
First of all, I just want to say, as a citizen of the United States, I'm appalled and angry. I'm also heartbroken for all the American people. And I say again, for all Americans. I also want to take a minute to say we stand with Ukraine. And I'm so sorry that you were treated that way. You do not deserve this. I think right now I'm not proud to be an American. The way that this is going, authoritarian, dictator. Again, I just want to say I'm sorry to the president of Ukraine. It shouldn't matter what he was wearing. That's irrelevant. He's only trying to help his country, protect his country, just like we try to protect our country to keep everyone safe. What happened to our Constitution and our democracy? What happened?
I want to find the sack of presents, even though is it in fact February? It is.
Yeah, the American president on Time magazine.
Oh, it's like a little shark wreath cookie sort of
wearing a king's hat. But let me tell you, you are no king. You're a president of the United States. You are no king.
There's a lot going on there. I'm not going to digest it and dissect it. Hello.
Elon Musk and his minions have no right to go through our personal data, our medical records, our social security numbers. No personal information. Trump and Elon, you make me sick. And Elon bringing a chainsaw on stage really makes me sick. Like, what has happened to America? What has happened to democracy?
Oh my God, he is the favorite. Look at him. That's so funny. And he's the secret. Look at us go. This is one of the flowers. This is the Disney Tsum Tsums. These are the story sets. And that is the one that you can select. I, of course, would be looking for Belle, Olaf, or Ken. Those would be my top choices. We have Donald. Wait, his little frog as Daisy. Oh my gosh, his little cheeks are blush.
This whole Trump and Elon gig is just making Americans so mad and angry.
We also have a Stitch keychain. I don't remember the option. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a clip-on plus. Interesting.
No, dude.
This has to be. I know you're raggedy.
And if Trump and Elon would watch the polls, America's voting you out. Caroline needs to watch the polls, the recent polls. America is speaking. America is standing together. United we stand. You might have voted for Trump, but you didn't vote for Elon.
Switch over to basic fun toys. They are back with their little pet shops. I think I want to find the fish because that one looks like the most like normal thing, which is so great. Oh,
it's bad enough that you let Fox News sexual assault drunk Pete Hicks up in. And oh wait, it gets better. Tisha Galbert, a Russian spy. Oh, then you got RFK Kennedy, 89 people, and well, people and children dies in Samoa due to him saying that the vaccinations were not safe. Oh wait, and Cash Patel, which Congress tried to warn that all he wanted was revenge against his enemies. That was it. He wanted revenge. The only reason why he wanted leader over the FBI. That's another thing I don't get. Why fire all the FBI agents? Look, they keep you safe. They keep predators off the internet to protect your children. And they do so much more. Why would you want to fire them? I'm sorry, but Trump needs to be impeached. Elon needs to go. J.D. Vance needs to quit being scared and stand up for the American people, not try to kiss Trump's rump. But no one dare not define Donald Trump. I'm here to tell you, Trump is no God and no king. There is only one God. The new beautiful bill that they're calling it, Republicans are calling it, are going to be trying to cut our Medicaid, SNAP. They say not Social Security, but there are a lot of people talking about it. Programs, school lunches for the children. Farmers that have kept their part of the bargain and expected to get paid, but they haven't. Because Trump closed SAID down. You've got hungry, starving children over in Africa that are hungry and starving, and you cut those programs. Can you imagine somebody starving and not having a bite to eat, especially a young child? These things are so horrific that you're doing. And we have Brad's Treasure, the only girls with a passion for passion. Wait, what is your name though? Oh, like I said, this is not fair to the American people. These are from Crazy Art. And let me tell you something, Trump. Everything was fine with Biden before you came along. Inflation is going through the roof. You promised one day, on day one, that inflation would go down. What a lie. This is oligarchy. You are not a dictator. You're not no king. And now he talks about when they go into Fort Knox.
kind of texture from the ones that I've seen previously.
where the government keeps
Also,
the gold and money. He's trying to get Elon in.
but if you've ever seen these at Disney in the store,
He's gutting our government, people. He's gutting our government.
they have these figures, but
He's also taking money away from 911 responders. This is reckless, and it's lacking in empathy. These are the 911 family members that lost their loved one in the 9/11, and they were given money to help with the families. He's also cut that out.
His accessories are a little palm tree and pineapple beach stitch, if you will. Would love to see something other
They
than
gutted the Board of Education.
Okay. The dress is giving see-through.
And now he's saying he's going to go in and
That's okay.
go wild on the Social Security.
Wait, oh my god, is that the last one? I was going to say last but not least.
I mean, what is wrong?
I did open the door.
Well, we know what's wrong with Elon. He's on ketamine, for one. He's all jacked up. And you want to let somebody like that make decisions for our country? You're just sitting back and letting him do it?
Her little props so fitting, literally a little broke and a rose. I know it's very hard for me to show you. My nails, I have an appointment tomorrow.
This is just some of what's going on. He also fired the watchdogs. And also fired the 4-star generals. Of course, they're also threatening the press. If they don't say the Gulf of America, then they're not going to let them in the White House. It is the Gulf of Mexico. It has and will always be. Bill after bill that Donald Trump keeps signing. But let's remember, Congress is the power of the purse. As the Democrats are doing everything they can to help the American people. Rallies, protests, you name it, they are doing everything. But it's just they don't have the numbers. So that's why they're asking, keep calling your senators and your congressmen. The only reason he is letting Elon get our government system is to give tax breakers to the millionaires. We all know that. You got to realize there's Americans that live paycheck to paycheck. Don't even know if they have enough to put food on the table. They can't even afford extra curriculum programs for their children, sports, because they have to pay their rent, they have to pay their lights, and then they have to try to put food on the table. And then you're taking and add more taxes to them just to give to the millionaires. Then you've got people that live on Social Security month to month. And now you've got inflation that's through the roof. Now American people are struggling. Energy bills are high. And threatening to cut Medicaid. And we've heard that if you're a transgender, they're not letting you in sports. And they're saying they're cutting them off of Medicaid. Because what happened to America? And since he fired the AFC, there has been plane crashes everywhere. There was not even one plane crash when Biden was in. Remember that, guys. Not even one plane crash because you had the FAC. They were watching the planes. They were keeping the distance in the air for each plane. They were monitoring them. And then you've got Trump that comes in and fires everybody on the AFC. And there's plane crash after plane crash. I guess the question is, why would you fire watchdogs and generals if he wasn't doing anything wrong? Why would you fire them? Oh, I know. So they can't investigate you. Hey, they can't investigate you if they're not, if they're fired and there's nobody to watch you, then you could rob anything, right? You could rob the government. Again, the American people have spoken. We don't like Trump, Elon, or his minions. We want you out. This is not what democracy looks like. Also, I mean, he's doing something every day between his tweets and being in the Oval Office. But he also fired 6,700 IRS workers. So, of course, they're saying taxes will be delayed. This is crazy that the American people have to suffer because of what he is doing. I think the waste, fraud, and abuse. How can you say that when Trump goes on his jet to Daytona 500, paying Elon Musk and his minions, Pete Hegseth wanting to paint his house and asking for a lump sum of money, which we all know he could go to Home Depot or anywhere else and get a couple gallons of paint to paint your house. Why would you need hundreds and thousands of dollars? Makes no sense to me. But yet they want to talk about waste, fraud, and abuse. Taking and closing the Board of Education, school lunches for innocent children. And how do you think these children are going to feel when they go to school and they don't have the money to buy anything for lunch, and they've got all these other children that's eating lunch? I mean, how's that child going to feel? Not only embarrassed because they don't have the money, but hungry because they have to go 8 hours of school a day. There has to be a limit somewhere. There has to be something to keep this from happening. This is the American people that you're doing this to, Trump. You're not only hurting the grown-ups, you're hurting the children as well. I guess it don't matter to you, though, because you're rich and powerful, just like Elon. I mean, how would Elon feel? He's got his little small child. How would he feel if his son went to school and had no money and everybody was eating lunch? How would he feel? That's the little things that you don't think about. You really don't know what the American people go through. You don't take the time to even ask. Or you're too scared to even shake their hand, afraid you might catch something. You say inflation was caused by Biden, but you're wrong. Everything was up when Biden was here. There was no problems. When he handed it over to you, everything was up and doing good. Now, 52% of the American people say that they don't want you in. 52%. 48% say you're doing what you're supposed to. 52%, I'm sorry, are saying that you're not. Like you're under the 50% percentile. So we know he's a dictator. SAID, people that go in for these trials for meds was completely cut off. People that get in these trials and they have to take this medicine for so long to see if it reacts on them. If it don't, then there's medicine that people have to have, like HIV and stuff like that, for their unborn child that have been on this medicine for a long time and they've been completely cut off. Again, I say starving children over in Africa, everything was just cut off. Farmers, they're begging for money because they don't have anything because they kept their end of the deal, their promise to the government, and the government did not pay them back. So now they are struggling. And it goes on and on. So I want to say, call your senators, call your congressmen, call anybody that will listen and tell them that you do not like what's going on. You do not like the bills that are added. You do not want them to touch the Medicaid. And you sure didn't vote for a president that wants to be a king and a dictator. And somebody that wants to kiss Putin's rump. He wants to bow down to Putin. And it's wrong. And it's wrong to do Zelensky the way he done him. And the one guy in the room, all he could think about was his outfit. Who gives a rat's butt about his outfit? The man has got people dying in war, children, mothers, sons, daughters. And all you want to ask him is about his outfit. And then Trump wants to treat him the way he did. Like the American people are appalled and fed up. You've got people protesting. You've got people that's out at the White House today talking about it. I mean, it's disgusting the way this government is doing. But the Democrats are fighting back. They're doing everything they can to try to help the American people. So I want to say, got my camera back on for a second. But I just want to say to Zelensky, we stand with you. The American people stand with you. And we are so sorry that you were treated this way by this president. The American people are not like that. And for him to only care about what you were wearing really irks me, really grinds my gears. But Zelensky, we stand with you. We stand with Ukraine. Guys, I want to leave that note on that note, but I want you to please keep calling your senators, your congressmen, please, and let them know what bill you don't like, what you don't like at all, and fight for democracy. This is that angry Democratic lady, and I'll talk to you later. Have a blessed day, everybody.